Sorry about that. Sorry about that quick cut. Um, this is part one, by the way. That way, you guys are not confused. Sorry about that that quick cut. My alarm went off, so that's why my camera shut off. Whenever I make a video and the alarm goes on, my camera shuts off automatically. Obviously, that's why what. That's why you got that my camera cut. So this will be part one. So to all you guys who are tuning in, was my keyboard. Whenever my keyboard on my phone works, but whenever I upload a video and I want to write down the title, it doesn't work. For some reason, it won't pop up. Hence why I'm gonna every time when I make a video, I'm gonna tell you what part I'm on. That way you're not confused. So this is part one, and then my next part I'll say this is part two. Then my next part after that I'll say this is part three. The way when you search through my videos, you'll know which part you're on. But you can tell which part it is by the flow of the video. But like to make it easier for you, I'll just give you the parts. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know. Should I make a read long video today? Like, do you guys prefer that I give you a Lord of the Rings read long, or do you prefer I just babble? I can babble on for an hour and 30 minutes and talk about stuff, and then I can make the chapter 3 video tomorrow. Because I don't really feel like reading Lord of the Rings today. It's starting to what? It's starting to wear out on me, man. I've been reading. I've read almost close to 100 pages of Fellowship of the Ring. I'll try my best to get through all book one, or I can just read chapter 3. I can read 10 pages a day. I know you Lord of the Rings fans won't like it when I read Lord of the Rings, obviously, because I'm bringing the world to life, obviously. But I mean, I'm gonna babble on first, and if I get carried away, I perhaps might not do a read long today. Or if I have time, I might read a good 10 pages of Lord of the Rings, depending on how I feel, what mood I'm in. Obviously, right? There's a lot of things I want to talk about. I've already mentioned this before, but there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about here. Right? So I'm going to keep saying this to all you Lord of the Rings fans out there. For me personally, the Lord of the Rings book series is pretty boring. Even though J.R.R. Tolkien's a legend and his book is Return of the King is actually pretty good. Return of the King is not as boring as Two Towers. Some sections are a little bit of a drag. The section I really liked in Two Towers was Shelob's lair. When Sam fights a spider and Frodo gets stabbed by Shelob, obviously, that part was pretty interesting. The Battle of Hornsburg, Helm's Deep was not bad. Halfway through the book, and the scenes with Ugluk and Grishnak, those were in the beginning of the book. That was pretty interesting. That's why I liked it. Whereas Fellowship of the Ring was a fucking drag, man. Fellowship of the Ring, the first half of the book was really, really boring. It's not until you get to the ring goes south that's when the story gets interesting. As even the Rivendell scene is really boring because the Council of Elrond goes on for thousands of words, goes on for pages, man. Hence why Peter Jackson had to cut all that out, obviously. And again, excuse the noise. I'm making a video in the evening, so you're gonna have to excuse. Right now it's about 5 o'clock. There's people upstairs, so you're gonna have to excuse the noise if you hear any noise, right? Right. There's many things as usual. I'm gonna babble on. I'll talk about Skype Source, my amazing big company, me, wife, and all. And you're welcome, sweetheart. I saved your fucking ass. It's because of me, you get to live this amazing life, and you get to own your own entertainment company, bigger than all the big Hollywood companies. That's how big me and my wife's Scott's company. You're looking at a company bigger than Disney, man. Disney's fucking big, and yet Scott's Entertainment will be bigger than Disney from studios, man. Because I'll be putting out better quality movies than Disney did all the Hollywood movies. Even though the Hollywood companies are bigger than my company in scale, you hear the noise. My company is bigger in quality because I'm putting out better movies. For Xanax, you're looking at $1 billion movie, a $970 million movie. 970, almost 400 million towards special effects alone. That's how like $400 million towards special effects alone. That doesn't even include salaries or even the practical set building. It doesn't include the practical. I'm putting in good like 30 million plus 30, 35, I don't know, 25, 30, $35 million towards building sets, man. You're looking at unheard of set building. As I'm not a fan of full-on CG, I want my world to look natural like Lord of the Rings. Like the first Lord of the Rings movie, it looked very natural. I want my world to look amazing, but look very natural. Hence why I'm going to put a lot of money into set building, obviously. Whereas I'm not a fan of full-on CG. No, for Xanax, if you have full-on CG, the movie wouldn't be that good. It'd be not bad, but if you have Eretad as a full-on CG wolf, the movie wouldn't be that good. I don't want Eretad as a full-on computer CG wolf. I want the voice actor to wear a mask. You know how in Lord of the Rings, you know how Pennywise the clown, the actor wears a mask. I want the actors for the wolves, the actors for the wolves, and the bats, feasting on them. I want them all to wear masks. That way they look more scary. Obviously, if you have them look more natural, and you apply that special effects to wear that natural look, the horrific match, you're looking at something unheard of. You're looking at devils and literal devils on the screen. And that's why Last of Us Zanus, if done right, I'm gonna keep saying this. If it's done right, it'll be a better movie than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. If it's not done right, you don't put that much money into it, it will not be better than Lord of the Rings. As I keep on saying, it's very hard to top. It's very, in my opinion, I have yet to see a franchise that can top the Lord of the Rings franchise. Lord of the Rings is so good that I don't think any franchise can top that, man. It's because it's that fucking good. Peter Jackson did such an amazing job. The Hobbit series was okay. It wasn't bad, but the original Lord of the Rings series is so good. I have yet to see a movie trilogy top that trilogy, man. Transformers was pretty good, but Transformers is not on the same level as Lord of the Rings. The Matrix 1, the first Matrix movie was really good. The first Matrix movie, you can argue, was the best movie ever made. But as a trilogy, Matrix is not better than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings had a better trilogy, obviously. But the first Matrix movie was really, really good. That movie is on par with Lord of the Rings, with the individual Lord of the Rings movies. You can argue the first Matrix movie is the best movie ever made. You also have The Godfather, but only the first two Godfather movies were good, whereas the third one I heard wasn't that good. Hence, even The Godfather doesn't top Lord of the Rings because only the first two. I saw The Godfather; it was an amazing movie, one of the best movie franchises, one of the best movie trilogies. But only the first two were really good, whereas the third one I heard wasn't that good. Hence, why The Godfather doesn't top Lord of the Rings. And I've yet to see a movie trilogy top Lord of the Rings. I don't think any trilogy can beat it, man. Because Lord of the Rings is that fucking good, man. You're looking at a masterpiece that Peter Jackson made. Even though Peter Jackson followed 20% of the book for obvious reasons, you have to cut a lot of scenes. I've yet to see a movie trilogy top that except for Last of Us Zanus. Last of Us Zanus, if it's done right and you put a lot of money into it and you write a good script, you have to write a good script. Hence why you got to hire the right people. You got to write a good script. You have to have Erethat be the devil himself. You have to have Ephesus be the devil himself. You have to have his son, Erethat's son for fool, Morale, be devils. The servant, the twin brother servants, Mass and Bass. You know what I'm saying? Bo the Pit Watcher. You have to have all those characters be literal devils, obviously, as well as the wolves, the children wolves. You have them all be devils. You have to have Zanus be rated R. You have to have, if Zanus could be PG-13, but if it was PG-13, the movie wouldn't be as good. Zanus is meant to be a rated R movie. You have to have Erethat and all of them be devils on the screen in order to do justice for the story, and you have to put unheard amount of money into it for unheard of warbling, better than Lord of the Rings, unheard of fighting, better than the Lord of the Rings. If you want Last of Us Zanus to be better than Lord of the Rings, I'm not saying it's going to be much better than Lord of the Rings, but it's going to be a better movie trilogy than Lord of the Rings if it's done right and you write an amazing script. Write an amazing script, you're looking at a better movie than Lord of the Rings. You guys think I'm crazy. Once you read my book, you'll finally see what I mean. And you have to hire the right people, obviously. Right? You have to hire the right people. Obviously. Excuse the noise if you hear some noise upstairs. You have to hire the right people. Right? That's why I'm going to keep saying this. Last of Us Zanus, if it's done right, you're looking at a better movie trilogy than Lord of the Rings. If it's done right, I'm going to keep saying that. Because Lord of the Rings is a very hard trilogy to top. I don't think any movie trilogy will ever top that. Because Lord of the Rings is pretty much, it's the best movie adaptation ever made. I don't think any adaptation can top that. The Harry Potter series was pretty good, but it's not on the same level as Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter, I saw Harry Potter. Harry Potter was pretty good. Twilight was pretty good. The first Twilight movie was really good. The other ones are okay. I've yet to see a movie adaptation I have yet to see movie adaptation on the same level as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is so good. I've yet to see a movie adaptation from a book that's better than Lord of the Rings. I've yet to see an adaptation better than Lord of the Rings, and I have yet to see a movie trilogy better than Lord of the Rings. As Transformers trilogy was pretty good. The Matrix trilogy was not bad, but none of those the Godfather trilogy was not bad, but none of those trilogies top Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, in my opinion, is the best. In my opinion, the closest trilogy that comes close to Lord of the Rings is Star Wars, the original Star Wars trilogy. But even the original Star Wars trilogy is not as good as Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings, the world building is amazing. The original Star Wars movies were amazing, but they're not as good as Lord of the Rings, in my opinion. For me personally, there's some people who may like the Star Wars trilogy better, the original Star Wars trilogy better than Lord of the Rings, but in my opinion, no movie trilogy can top Lord of the Rings. Because Lord of the Rings is that good, man. It's an amazing. I'm not surprised because Lord of the Rings is based off a masterpiece by J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings book is a masterpiece. Even though it's a bit boring, the books, for me personally, I personally like the movies better than the books because I'm not a book nerd, obviously. Whereas a lot of people like the books better than the movies, but in my opinion, the movies are better than the books because I can watch it more times. Whereas the books, I'm not gonna be rereading it many times. It's a good chance I'll probably reread Lord of the Rings maybe once I finish filming my Last of Us Dance movie. When I go home to my next condo, I might maybe reread the series. But I mean, Lord of the Rings for me personally is not really a series I can reread multiple times because the series is a huge drag, and there's a lot of sections in the book that are boring, man. Even though the world building is amazing and J.R.R. Tolkien's a legend, I respect him. He's a father of fantasy. His book series for me personally is a bit boring. And to all you Lord of the Rings fans, do not get angry with me because I know I know Tolkien Lord of the Rings fans are fucking crazy. If you diss Tolkien, they go all over you. I've seen the comments on Fantasy Reddit, Lord of the Rings Reddit. The fans are crazy. You diss Tolkien, they go all over you. But to all you Lord of the Rings fans, do not get angry with me. As for me personally, Lord of the Rings book series is a bit boring, in my opinion. And hence why I believe Last of Us is better. Because even though Lord of the Rings has better world building, more in-depth world building, richer world building, obviously, Last of Us is a more interesting story and it will keep you a lot more hooked than Lord of the Rings. As Lord of the Rings J.R.R. Tolkien did not keep me hooked the way Last of Us does. I don't mean to be rude. I'm just saying. I've read Two Towers. I've read Fellowship of the Ring. I'm almost halfway through Return of the King right now. Which Return of the King, in my opinion, is the best book of the three books. Obviously, whereas the movie, in my opinion, is the worst. So in terms of the books, I like Return of the King the best. And Two Towers is a close second. Fellowship of the Ring is the worst. But in terms of the movie, I like Two Towers the best. And then Fellowship of the Ring is a close second. And Return of the King is the worst, in my opinion. The only reason why Return of the King is the worst is because the CGI, you had some pretty bad CGI in the movie. Obviously. And the battle scenes were all rushed. Obviously. The speech that Theoden gave in the Pelennor battles, that was amazing. The charge was amazing, but the war was very rushed, and it was pretty much just horses running over the orcs. That's pretty much was a war. Hence why I like Two Towers the best, because Two Towers, the Helmsley battle, in my opinion, was the best battle in the trilogy. Hence why I like Two Towers the best, obviously. In Two Towers, you get introduced to Rohan. You get introduced to all these characters. It's when you first get to introduce all the characters. Hence why I like Two Towers the best, obviously. Right? Well, like I said earlier. Yeah, so to all you fans, Lord of the Rings fans out there, once you read my book, you're gonna be like, oh my god, Ivan's Last of Us series is actually better than Lord of the Rings. There may be some people out there who might like Lord of the Rings better than Last of Us, but I highly doubt it. Chances are, if you read my book, you're gonna be like, yeah, Last of Us is better than Lord of the Rings because Last of Us will keep you. Ivan kept me a lot more hooked than J.R.R. Tolkien did. Even though J.R.R. Tolkien created a better world, his world building is unmatched, his world building is amazing. Last of Us kept me more hooked than Lord of the Rings. Obviously. Last of Us kept me more hooked than Lord of the Rings. You might hear the noise upstairs because there's people upstairs. Hence why I'm gonna be crowned the modern Tolkien man. I don't mean to be cocky. I'm just saying I'm a pretty humble man myself. But I'm just saying once you read, I wouldn't say this if my book was. I wouldn't be this cocky if my book wasn't this good. I'm going over my book right now, and every time I go over my book, I'm always hooked. Whereas Lord of the Rings, I'm reading it right now, and there's some sections where it's a drag and I'm bored because the book is not as interesting as my book. I don't mean to be rude. I'm just saying from my experience. I've read Lord of the Rings and I've read Last of Us, and Last of Us is more interesting. Keep you a lot more hooked. Hence why people are going to be like, yeah, no book can beat Lord of the Rings except for Ivan's book. Ivan's book's the only book that can beat Lord of the Rings because Last of Us is that good. And you're looking at even amazing. I'm not going to say, in my opinion, I believe the movies will be better than the book because I'm acting in it. Because I'm acting in the movie, the movie will be better than the book, in my opinion. Obviously, in terms of story, a lot of fans will. Some fans might like the book better than the movie, but I highly doubt it because I'm acting in the movie and I'm bringing the world to life and I'm putting unheard of money into it. Guaranteed, the movie will be better than the book because I'm acting in it. Obviously, because Ivan O'Meara is acting in the movie, it's gonna obviously I'm bringing the character of Tacius to life. God in the flesh acting as Tacius. Of course, the movie will be better than the book. Obviously, the only people who might think the book's better than the movies are the book nerds. But I highly doubt it because I'm acting in the movie will be better than the book, in my opinion. And you're looking at an even better movie adaptation than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings if it's done right. And you put a lot of money into it. If you put a lot of money into it, if you put 400 million, 350 million, 200 million towards Zanus, the movie will be okay. It won't be as good. It won't be as good as Lord of the Rings. In order to make a better franchise, better trilogy than Lord of the Rings, you have to put unheard money into it, like $1 billion, $97 million, $400 million towards special effects, unheard of amount of money towards the mass. Yeah, put a lot of unheard money towards the mass for the characters. Obviously, the set building, all that stuff, hiring the best actors, Hollywood actors, paying your crewmen an unheard amount of money. That way, they work harder for you. You want to get better quality for your set building, your makeup, your costume, all that stuff. You got to pay your crewmen an unheard amount of money. That way, they all work hard for your musicians, your composer, all that stuff. You pay them more money. Everyone who works for you will work even hard. They'll work double harder than what they did in Hollywood. Because in other words, because I'm paying these crewmen $150,000 and the supervisors $200K. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying Hans Zimmer like $2.7 million because I'm paying these guys so much money. They're all going to work much harder for me compared to the way they worked in Hollywood. Even though in Hollywood they work hard, because they're getting shitty money, there's a good chance they slack off a bit more. They'll still work hard for you, obviously, if you pay them like $30,000. If I pay them $30,000 a year, they still all work hard for me, but they won't work as hard, and there's a good chance they're going to slack off more with the set building, the makeup, the special effects. They're going to slack off a bit more, and you won't get as good as a movie. If you pay them unheard amount of money, everyone in the crewmen are going to work harder for you. That's why I'm having a huge budget, a huge $10 million budget for salaries. That way I can pay everyone an unheard amount of money, a lot of money. That way they work even harder for you. Hence why you're looking at something unheard of for Philosopher's Zanus. Obviously. Remember what I said about Lord of the Rings, how you got those Lars that appear out of nowhere? I'm not going to get any of that for Zanus because I paid everyone a lot of money, and so they're not going to slack off as much. Obviously, as in Lord of the Rings, those special effects people, obviously they slacked off a little bit. They still worked hard, obviously, because they signed a contract. But if you pay them shitty money and feed them shitty food and put pressure on them, they're gonna slack off more. And you're gonna catch cheesy scenes in your movie. Guaranteed, you're gonna catch some cheesy scenes in your movie. And that's why you pay them good money. That way, you don't catch any of those cheesy moments in your movie. You got those ladders that appear out of nowhere. Where the heck did all those ladders come from? When you saw the orc army, you didn't see the orcs carrying any ladders. And yet in the movie, you have those. You see the orc army. You don't see them carrying ladders, and all of a sudden, when they approach the wall, you have like 20, 30 ladders like appearing out of nowhere. I'm like, where the heck did all those ladders come from? A plot hole in the story, obviously. When the orcs breach the wall, and when the orcs breach Helm's Deep, you saw that scene where when Aragorn and them were like retreat. You saw a bunch of men, and then the next scene you see like 8-10 men left. I'm like, where the heck did all those other men go? Huge plot hole in the story, obviously. Why? Because you pay the editors shitty money, and you fed them shitty food, and you put pressure on them. Hence, you're gonna catch cheesy moments in your movie, guaranteed. You're gonna catch cheesy scenes in your movie, guaranteed, man. Whereas for my movie, you're not gonna get any of that because I paid everyone a lot of money and I spoiled them with good food. Hence, why they're all gonna work hard for me. And you guys can see the future. You already know because I have the keys. You already know how good my Last of Us movie will be. You know how good it'll be. You're looking at a good, 2027, 2028 around there. I should be filming Zanus. You guys can see the future. You already know, because I have the keys, you already know how top-notch my Last of Us movie will be. You know how horrific Eretell will be. You can see the future. You know how horrific Eretell will be. You know how scary Eretell will be. You're looking at the devil himself. You can see the future. You guys know. I have the keys. And you know how amazing my Last of Us movie will be. You're looking at something unheard of. Remember that picture that VJ posted? That guy with the red robe and the red carpet, he had a beard. That's a symbolism of me in the future, obviously. That Jesus look, you're looking at something like that for me in Last of Us. I'm gonna have my long dreads and my beard, and the long red robe. You're looking at robes like that for the Master of Zanus movie. That's me and Zanus, obviously. That's me and Zanus. Yeah, VJ posted that picture because it's me and Zanus, obviously. She can speak because I have the keys. VJ can see the future too. She can see what she can see. Oh, I don't know. 2027, 2028, Ivan will be filming Zanus, and around towards the dawn of the 2020s, Last Over Zanus will be released for the world to buy. Obviously, the documentary will be released. Hence why you're looking at something unheard of, Last Over Zanus movie. Right? 20 minutes here. After this video, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna go to the store, get beer and smokes. I might just eat. I'll either order food. Or I might just eat the hot dogs upstairs. I don't know. I'll think about it. But I mean, when I watch my videos, I like to eat. I like to eat fast food, but I mean, the hot dogs my stepmother made are good. So they're good hot dogs. So I'll either eat those or I'll the leftovers from yesterday, or I'll order around and make it. I've been ordering shawarma for the past like 6-7 days. I think I might order some Mickey perhaps. I haven't had McDonald's in a while, so McDonald's is really annoying too, though. But I mean, I'm talking about after I make this video, I'm gonna upload it, take a shower, and I'm gonna go go get some beer and smokes, and enjoy the show, obviously. And that's how top notch my guys. You guys can see the future. You already know how top notch my company will be. You're looking at a top notch company, man. And that's why those Hollywood actors who were chosen for Zanus, you guys know who you are. They're gonna beg their fucking asses off of me and my wife to resign them because Skies is burned in Hollywood, and they just had a time in their lives. They were saved for 3. The actors are gonna be saved for what? They're gonna be saved for 3 years, man. 4, technically 4 years, because the first year, even though they're not falling to my office, my secretaries are going to give their agent a call. Hey, you've been casted for the role. You've been casted for the role. Hence, they're going to feel a bit saved then, even the first year. But the actors are going to be saved for 3.5 years, pretty much. 3.5 years is a long time. So these actors are going to get to experience the buzz and fame with Iron Vijay for 3.5 years. That's why once those 3.5 years end, they're gonna beg because they're used to being saved. You know what it feels like to be saved for multiple years. For 3.5 years, these actors are gonna be saved. Hence why once filming's finished, they're gonna beg because they don't want to lose that feeling. They want to feel safe. They don't want to be left behind. Right? That's how amazing of a life me and my wife are gonna live. Well, you guys are all left behind because you made me pay my wife. You're also gonna pay by being left behind. Man, I'm gonna keep saying that, man. Because you guys are selfish and because you let your devilry envy take over when I didn't do anything to you, all because you can't see me have sex. You purposely caused mess in my life, which pisses me the fuck off. I would have had my wife all to myself. I would have had her all fresh. I wouldn't have had to deal with this fucking mess. And you fucking separate me and you fucking cause this mess, purposely cause this mess, all because you can't see me have sex because of my holy nature. And when you think for 1 second after doing that and kill me and not talking about like, you're not gonna pay a price. No, man. You made God pay a price who created the universe. And when he's king and he's hot with the glowing beauty, his full brain, he's a billionaire. And the world experiences he now what? He now experiences the glory of the worldwide glory. The world is now left behind and they're abandoned by God and they're gonna pay that horrific price. Because you made God pay a price who created the universe, his creation will also pay a price. When he's king, they're not saved. They're left behind, they're abandoned by God. I'm not gonna do like that, man. I wanna keep saying this, man. No way in hell am I gonna let you have me pay a price. Remember, I didn't do anything wrong. An innocent man who was willing to save his virginity for his wife. You have him pay a price to be with his wife, and you think for 1 second that you're not going to pay a price. No, man. You made me pay a price, so you're also going to pay a price. When I'm king, you're left down, you're banned by God. I'm not making any bills for you. On my Sabbath channel, I think I should open your eyes. I'm not going to let you get your full kick of that. No, man. You want to cause mess in my life, hence I'm going to cause mess in your life. When I'm king, you're going to feel left out and abandoned every day for the rest of your life. As you're looking at international fame, you're looking at constant trends every day. Is you guys are going to be left out, you're going to be abandoned, you're going to cry, and you're going to even beg for forgiveness, but it's too late. You can't take back what you did. You purposely caused mess in your wife's life, and you killed an innocent man. At the same time, you're selfish. You choose not to talk about me in the public eye and sabotage my channel with 5, 6 subscribers. And it's because you sabotage my channel, you choose not to talk in the public eye. I and Vijay are now kept behind the scenes when they're king and queen, and as a result, you're now left behind. You're bad. My God, as I'm not going to just do like that, right? So you better heed my warnings. I'm not playing around. Once I make that final announcement in late October, you only have a good month and a half left of me on YouTube. And I'm done, man. So end of October, end of this month, I should be done going over my whole book. At the end of October, I get my last check September 30th. End of October, I'll be making that final announcement. And after I make that video, that is it for Ivan Lemaire. And I'm gonna go upstairs and be brave. Take a walk, have a smoke. Once I make the final announcement, I'll give it a few days. I'll probably have take a good 5 days off, get a pack of smokes, take a nice walk around the block at nighttime, just enjoy myself because I know all hell's gonna break loose. And then I'm gonna go upstairs and tell my man, hey guys, I've done my book. And then one of those days, a couple of days later, my family's gonna sit me upstairs, and their true nature's gonna show, obviously. Because they know I have the keys and I wrote the best book ever. Because they know I'm a son of God and I have the keys and I wrote the best book ever. They know my book I'm going to make billions off my book. Hence why they're no longer going to act and their true nature is going to show. They now know I have platform. I have a platform for making money for myself. They also know I have means to see my wife now. Hence why their true nature is going to show. You guys are going to track me with sharing her death. I'm not stupid. And VJ's family's true colors will show too. And VJ will find out how rich her family is. She's gonna find out how rich her stepsister is, she has a multi-billion-dollar hole in the bank, obviously. She's gonna find out that her mother is the gatekeeper. I told you, there's a reason why me and my wife are born into these families. Because these families are the gatekeepers to open the doors to fame and success, duh. There's a reason why we're born into these families, because these families are the gatekeepers, man. They're the rulers of the world, man. They're the kings and queens of the world. They're the royal families. Yeah. Because we're God, there's symbolism there. We're born into the royal families. They're supposed to open the doors to the rightful heirs, obviously, because we're God. They decide to lock the doors on us and separate us and cause us mess. They betrayed us, obviously. Go back and watch my biblical symbolism video to get more information on that. The Steph families betrayed me in their life, obviously. Hence why when me and my wife are king and queen, they're not going to be saved. They're going to be left behind because the Steph families, they saw me and my wife's miraculous birth with their own eyes, and they even deny that I'm God. Act like Jesus is God when they know. They saw my miraculous birth and they even deny that I'm God because they're reprobate, obviously. And the Steph families chose to betray us, knowing full well that we're God. They saw our miraculous birth, yet they chose to betray us and cause this mess. Hence why the Steph families will not be saved. They're going to be left behind when my wife king and queen, obviously. They're not going to be saved. Hence they get what they deserve, obviously. Because they chose to cause mess, lock all doors on me and my wife, kill innocent man. When I am your king and queen, you're left behind, abandoned by God. Right? They're the symbolism of Satan, pretty much. And I'm the symbolism of Jesus, pretty much. Obviously, that's just, where do you think you get the idea of the symbolism of Satan and Jesus? Well, the symbolism of Satan is the Steph families. They're wicked, obviously. And the symbolism of Jesus is obviously me. Because I'm good. I'm the only good man in the world, whereas you guys are all wicked people, man. There's no one good in this world except for Ivan Lemaire. Everyone in this world are all wicked people. The fact that you did this to me and my wife, I'm proving how wicked and evil you guys really are. You guys are wicked people. Fucking wicked people, man. Honestly. I don't know. Should I do a read long or should I just babble on for an hour and a half? I don't know, man. I don't really feel like reading Lord of the Rings today. I can continue chapter 3 tomorrow. Then for this video, I can just babble on for, I don't know, an hour, another hour. Down to 29 minutes here. I'm thinking if I should babble on for another hour or I should read Lord of the Rings in the remaining time that I have. I don't know. Right? Shut the camera off here soon. As I told you, well, I'm getting tired of making these videos. As these videos are starting to wear me out. It's very annoying making these videos on my Sabotage channel. Yeah, it's fun making videos, but I'm getting tired of making videos on my Sabotage channel. I don't get any credit for it. You guys don't talk about me in the public eye. Once I'm king, I'm not taking my time to make free videos and not get paid for it and not even have you. I'm not going to take the time to put in all this work, make videos for you. You guys don't even talk to me in the public eye. You keep me behind the scenes. You even act like you don't watch videos. I'm not going to just do them like that. Once I'm king, I'm not making any live videos for my Silence channel. You're going to be left out in the bed. Oh my God, I keep saying that, man. And I don't play around with during garbage. And I don't play around with death, man. If death doesn't wake you up on all, you guys are crazy people. Even after Ivan suffers death and we cause mess in his life, and we don't talk about a public guy, hopefully him and VJ make videos for us. Because you guys are fucking crazy people, man. You're nothing but crazy psychopaths. Let me ask you a question, Roll. If I caused mess in your life and killed you and not talk when you in public eye, would you take the time to make videos for me? Let me ask you that question. Oh, hell no, I'd piece the fuck out. Yeah. But when it comes to me and my wife, you guys are blind. You don't see because you guys are crazy psychopaths. You're crazy psychopathic people. Even after killing someone, trapping him with death or sharing, locking all doors on them, purposely causing mess in him and his wife's life, the man's wife's life, right? You know what I'm saying? Locking all doors into him, knocking him out as a 4-year-old kid, even acting like VJ is not even my wife, because you guys are crazy psychopaths when you know she's my wife. Somehow him and Ivan and VJ will make videos for us. Because you guys are fucking crazy people. No matter what, you want your full cake and eating it too, because you're selfish and you're blind, you're a reprobate, and you're nothing but a messy mess that me and wife made. You guys are messed up people in the head, man. You guys are nothing but a mess that me and wife made, man. It's so bad that once I come out of that, you guys are when your eyes are open, all the bad things are gonna hit you. You're like, oh my God, like we're fucked up people. Yeah, man. You guys are nothing but a fucked up mess, man. You're nothing but a major mess, man. You're just crazy psychopaths. You're crazy people, man. You even act like VJ's not even my wife when you know she's my wife. Because you guys are crazy people, man. Like, you act like I'm not God when you know I'm God. You act like VJ's not even my wife. Because you guys are crazy, psychopathic behavior. Yeah, you guys are crazy psychopaths, man. You separate me and her for 3 decades. You guys are nothing but a mess. You're crazy psychopaths, man. I'm gonna shut my camera off here.